Hi, this is Dawn, and one of the first books that we are going to begin with as we examine our relationships on a deeper level is a book I wrote called What Went Wrong with Our Relationship? It Started Out So Good. First things first, do I know that the title of this book is grammatically incorrect and that it should read What Went Wrong with Our Relationship? It Started Out So Well. Yes, I know that. And my dedication to helping people heal or make well their relationships that had such promise in the beginning is the whole purpose behind this book. But that is not how hundreds of people who have asked me that question phrase it. They lengthen the good, as they say it, at the end of the phrase and stretch it for emphasis. You can see in their faces and through their body language that they are recalling for a moment just how good it was. You can see the pain and disappointment in their eyes, which for me makes the first question of the phrase, "What went wrong?" even more sad. Everyone laments that times have changed, and they are correct. A couple of hundred years ago, people were stunned that the divorce rate was at an unheard of level of 5%. Now we are struggling to keep it from reaching 50, 60%. Why? Relationships are under attack, and most of us do not know who or what the enemy even looks like. We are told there is an information explosion, while many of us feel that we know less than ever before. It appears these days amendments for human rights are used in courts to defend human wrongs. Kids are exposed to never-ending stream of sex and violence before they even have an opportunity to learn to swim through the pollution. We are afraid for our children. We are afraid for our safety. We are afraid that our love won't last. Yes, times are changing, relationships are changing, and families are changing. So let's take a moment to examine into what. Consider, if you will, where our society is heading. We obsess about how tall the building should be to replace the Twin Towers and yet give little thought to our short attention spans. What sense does it make to broaden our tax base while we continue to shrink our expectations regarding self-discipline, character, academic achievement, and social achievement? We spend millions of dollars on products that promise to make our hair shine while exposing ourselves to music, movies, and media that actually dulls our minds. We are at war in our homes. Our relationships are wounded time and time again, many fatally. We stuff our faces and starve our relationships. The interest we pay on our credit cards is too high, while the interest we pay to each other is much too low. We protest war and its savage nature while spending millions of dollars on video games that teach our children to shoot and kill for pleasure. Families are changing, relationships are changing, our society is changing. But into what? It is time for us to grow strong and smart and give our relationships a new start. We must muster the strength for transformation. We must no longer settle for crawling on our bellies through life, our faces covered with dirt, blaming someone else for kicking sand in our faces. How many of you feel like we are more in a victim mentality than ever before? I understand that there are victims. There are people who have suffered horrible experiences. I happen to be one of them. However, a victim mentality has never gained us anything. We need to understand where we want to go as a society, where we want to go as a human being who has relationships. Relationships are the number one treasure in most people's lives. And yet, we absolutely do not know how to care for that treasure, how to wear that treasure, how to utilize that treasure, how to spend that treasure. So I'm looking forward to spending some time examining what went wrong with our relationship because they start out so good.